No audio. Ah. Can you hear me now, Eric? Can you hear me?
I don't know why there's no audio.
Check,
Bo
check,
keeps
check. 1,
throwing
2.
it up every day with these stupid headphones.
Oh,
Yes,
that's okay. I think you can hear me because I hear myself, and I need to stop myself.
Yeah.
Yes, but I need to find the chat. Where'd it go?
It says restore chat.
Oh, I have to restore the chat. Where is everybody?
They're all here. There's 15. All 15 people who ever watch our channel
all 15 people are here
now.
That's awesome. Wahoo! Yes.
Yeah, you can hear us.
But I can't see us.
Yeah, this keeps happening to me every time I sit down at the computer. Is Bo got some really cool headphones. Have you shown them? Just look how cool he is.
I'm going to go get them.
This is how you edit in the middle of your living room when the world is going on around you.
Yes, they're pretty awesome. I love them.
So we are safe. We are presently in our living room / office. And we are going to share with you all of the things. I don't know, maybe not all of them, but most of them. Most of the things that have been going on.
Yes. I have a big list right up here in my monitor.
Go figure, Bo has a list.
I'm a listy person. Yeah, but we want to see how. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate the fancy headphones.
Man phones.
They're so big. They're quite thick.
They're as big as
right
the bun
here.
on my head, but here.
The Beats headphones are like a little thinner. I have taken these at least 4 times to the grocery store thinking I'm going to do it. I'm going to put these things on and I'm going to listen to my podcasts while I shop. And I never have the guts to do them.
I think it goes without saying these are times that he goes to the grocery store without me.
Why are you upstaging me? You need to come further. You're too far back there.
I am upstaging.
And they can't hear you. You have to be close to the microphone.
That's true. I think they can hear me just fine.
But I wonder if I had the mic, if these on.
People are on enough where we could start talking about real things and not where people are sitting. All right. Thank you guys. Yes, we are glad that you're safe too, and your husband is from Tomball. It is hard, we're in some really interesting positions over the last week with family who was out of town, family who was in town, friends who were down the block from us. So we'd like to share a little bit of that with you. Primarily, thank you for being concerned. Thank you for watching. Thank you for asking. A lot of you offered really incredible advice over the last week. The backstory of this live is that this is our first major hurricane with kids. We have been in lots of hurricanes before. The last big one was right before we got married, and that was Ike. And the Katrina also was one that we weren't in, but being in Texas, that was a major hurricane that was closer to home than others. And then after that, Rita was
Houston
kind of
felt the Katrina because all the refugees came.
Yeah, sort of the
displaced.
What would you call that? Like the aftershocks of that.
Yeah.
And then Rita was this kind of almost felt like a hoax for us, but obviously still devastating for the Gulf Coast. So this was the first one as grown-ups that we went through, not just trying to figure out how do we make our plans for ourselves, but how do we make it for our whole family? And that had a lot of implications that we really didn't expect until we were going through it at that very moment. So a lot of you guys have been through hurricanes. This isn't a therapy session, but you are welcome to put your stories on the side. And I know that a lot of times talking about these things in a sort of roundtable atmosphere really helps, really heals. And some of you guys are in our area. some of you have stories that you don't have to tell here, but you just might find some camaraderie and comfort in being around people who've been through what you've been through, because this is the heavy stuff, man.
Yeah. So I think Harvey gave me a little motivation to document some big stuff that was going on. So we were able to do daily, again, for 4 or 5 days.
And we couldn't go anywhere, so that really helped.
There wasn't really anything else to do. Sunday night was whenever it got really bad.
Well, I think if we trace back, so we knew the storm was coming, and I think we shared this in some of the vlogs. The good thing about hurricanes is you know that they're coming. So you have a little bit of time to think through, what does it look like if we do need to evacuate? Where will we go? And what do we need to have with us? Those are easy things. And according to all other hurricanes that we've been in, those are possibilities. We kind of think, oh, if the power kicks off, then we're going to head over to my sister's and we'll just stay there until we at least have AC in August, right? There just are no words. That was what we expected. And for some people, that would be truly devastating. But for us, it's life living in the Houston area. Hurricanes come, power goes out, trees come down, places get water. This was not that.
No.
So Friday it came.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Saturday we were in typical
Thursday.
hurricane
Yeah,
mode.
Thursday we were prepped because we were behind on being prepared for something like this. So we just needed
filling the gaps.
2 shopping, days, and we were done. We just started packing. We have all the bottles, so we had all the water and everything. Then Friday. One day before landfall, we were just hanging out. Saturday was really not a lot. I went and helped someone chop down cut up a tree that fell on their fence. I thought, I was like, wow, this is going to be that type of storm that I was going to be using my chainsaw because high winds and everything. And then it started raining, and it did not stop. And it just did not stop.
That was a little different. A lot of the hurricanes we've been in, the eye will pass over us. So there's this break in between the rains.
And you get to lay down on your driveway and just look up at the sky and just it's an eerie, cool, fascinating thing. The hurricane coming in. It's without kids. Yeah. That's what we would do.
You'd drink beer in the cul-de-sac, and y'all all chat around because nobody's going to work.
And it feels cool, it's just neat.
Those winds didn't come until days after.
Yeah, and then because we were on the dirty side, so we were on the right side of the storm. So Sunday, I remember the water started coming up above our median.
Morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was there in the morning, and then it stopped a little bit at night, but then it got dark and it came up, and then all of our neighbors started corralling and talking about this. And I saw across our street, and I was like, I need to go over there to see what our neighbors are talking about. So I walked in knee-high water across our street. I put on my old running shoes, and I put them on, and I walked over there. And nobody was optimistic. They started planning. Yeah, we have to have a plan. They said our next door neighbors have a 2-story house. They're the only ones that are in our kind of friends or something and they said, yes, y'all are up there. And I came back and I freaked out. I completely lost it. I lost it, guys. I put worm castings in pillowcases thinking that would be a sandbag.
That was very interesting. Ladies, if you have a different personality than your husband, you might understand. sometimes you just got to step back and let it happen. So that's what I did. It just, we just let it happen. But eventually I absorbed that frantic energy, and by the end of the night, we had our neighbors really talk us off the ledge. I mean, we weren't trying to go anywhere. We weren't trying to leave anywhere. It was just the panic of, how do we get a family of 6 on the roof? How do you get a 6, 5, and 3-year-old all to comply and do what we tell them to do when I don't want to do it. So there were these future scenarios running through our minds, and it really snowballed into this panic mode in our home. And the kids were amazing, and they were calm, cool, and collected, and they watched iPods till like 10:30 that night.
Well, because bad dad moment. And I always hear like Jack Spirko, because y'all know that I listen to the survival podcast. I don't align with everything that this guy believes in or talks about. But whenever it comes to this, he really is right a lot of the time. He's like, in a situation like this, you cannot expect your kids to comply and to like fall in line just to do it. And I kind of lost it. And I was like, I got mad at the boys because they kept on getting out, and there's a storm happening, and they could feel their parents lose it. And I'm like, stay in there. You have to go to sleep because I have to get our house ready because we might be leaving. Like, we might be leaving in the middle of the storm, and you want me to sleep, Dad?
Yeah, they just...
And Ollie's tough, and he looks right at me. He's like, You're wrong, Dad. I mean, he didn't even say it.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to be this way.
So that was a low moment. And then we eventually kind of came together as a family and said, okay, the big 3 kids, y'all want to help? It's time to help. Let's start packing your bags. And they came out and they helped Kelly pack the go bags while I started taking things and putting them as high as we only have a 1-story house here, as high as we could go.
And we had also, all of Friday and Saturday, been in this hyper vigilant state, because I can't remember a time where I have ever, in the places we've lived in Houston, ducked and covered because of tornadoes. We had, no joke, 15 tornado warnings within a 24-hour period. So we're running in and out of the bathroom. And then in the middle of the night, I'm staying up to watch my phone to see, do we really need to go get everybody up, or could we let them sleep and then maybe tomorrow I can take a couple hours rest? So everything was really in this sleep-deprived, hyper-energy state, and our go bags were packed and stashed in our bathroom in case we had to walk out from these 4 walls and the rest of our house was torn up. I mean, we just felt the need to be prepared for every possibility, and we just never would have expected it to do what it did in our city. Yeah. So let's take a second, and you guys are so encouraging and really writing amazing things over here on the left. Ask your questions, because I know you guys have been asking some things, and we haven't necessarily been able to answer them all very effectively. So we can answer anything we can that you have wondering about reservoirs or National Guard or what it looks like, because the reality is we've got this small piece of our Houston suburb bubble, but there is Beaumont, there is Houston proper, there is Port Arthur, there is Rockport, there is Corpus Christi, and all of these coastal cities that still need support. So while Houston is going to get the big news like New Orleans did with Katrina, there's so much more devastation that's going on with far fewer resources than our city. And I think it's important when you have a platform like this to draw attention. So many people are doers, especially on a channel like ours. You guys are the people who make things happen in your life. You don't wait for someone to hand out to you. I love the comments about, I love seeing neighbors come together or communities come together. We don't have words to describe what we've seen where we are. there were lines to get into our city of people with trucks and boats to rescue. That there, you just can't have it. Like, I'm not very uneloquent. Like, I usually have words for things and I just don't. So forgive that. But there's been nothing but patience and compassion and intentional support out of a desire for the person who's in need, not just the desire for the giver. So those of you who are givers, it's so wonderful to be the recipient of all that you'd like to give. Remember that there are, this is so long term. So in 2 weeks, if you guys are Texans and you want to get to a place where you can help people, bring the manpower, not just the finances. The finances are great now. People need clean underwear. They need a pillow. They need a place to sleep. And your funds will provide that. But in the next 2 weeks, in the next few months, those of us Houstonians remember Galveston being totally wiped out just a few years ago. That's what's going to be important. And your money is important now. But in the months to come, it's going to be your manpower that's really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go and say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
And then we will tell you about how Harvey has
impacted.
Yes, our plans.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll talk about, the future of the channel and what we're doing.
Yep.
Okay. So I just like to say hi to everybody.
Amy Fuel's here.
Yes, you cheated and you went from the bottom. We gotta go from the beginning.
I did cheat. Sorry.
I know.
But also hi, Amy.
She loves you, Amy. Okay, so what's up, Eric? Thanks for jumping in, bud. I'm glad that you're here. Randall and Tammy and Tim. Hi, Sue. Let's see.
We got Norweave. I am not sure if that's how we say it. But yes. Automakers, hey.
Joshua Wilson, thank you, buddy, for jumping. It's been a long time since you've been on. Williams Martinez, thank you. LF, good to see you. Eric Catman, hey guys. Okay, awesome, you are coming down. Thank you. This is
Eric.
Wow.
And if you guys need to find out how to get plugged into organizations, just send us a message and we'll plug you in to the ones that we know are active in our area. But there are many, many others. So, like we said, don't forget those coastal cities or Beaumont as well.
Yeah. And then let's see. Meh. That's
how I feel most days. Meh.
Let's see. And
Dion.
Yes, Dion, and of course Amy Fuel from the Fuel Homestead. Woo-hoo.
She's got a book coming out, y'all. Get that.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, Jeffrey, how's it going, man? Jeffrey's one of our good friends over at the Shed to House group. Guys, Shed to House, our Shed to House Facebook group is about to hit like 50,000 here soon. Candace, Justin.
Hey, Candace.
Yes, and Du Bois Creek Cattle.
Is it Du Bois or is it Dubois?
Dubois. Yeah. And then Mandy. Okay. Say hi, everybody. This is so cool.
So let's answer a couple of questions. One, some people want to know how's the homestead, how's our property doing?
No idea.
But we think it's pretty good.
There's nothing there.
No news is good news.
I mean, like, honestly, if a tree falls down, it's just firewood. It's just one less thing that we would.
It's not going to damage anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's not, like, the only thing that would do it is if it broke a fence. But on one side of our neighbors, they need to keep their animals in because they have sheep, and so they're probably going to fix it.
I don't think anything happened. Honestly, There's probably, that Central Texas area got a lot of rain, but nothing like what dumped down here. If you think of the way water moves down a property to the lowest elevation, once you get to the ocean, that's pretty low, y'all. So that's where we're getting a lot of this back up.
Yeah. So a lot of people have asked us how our properties fared. I wish that we could make it there to see how the water did at that time. I
think we're just putting up 4 walls, honestly, all of Friday until it sounds so.
That would have been just idiotic to drive in the storm.
I'm not even thinking about that.
Yeah.
But it's so. It sounds brief to you, but in those hours of like high vigilance, we had Friday through easily Monday morning that were just like putting up our 4 walls. Are our people here? Are they breathing? Are they eating? Do we have power? How long can we sustain this kind of lifestyle? We didn't know what the fallout would be. Starting Monday morning, when the rains let up, it was still raining, but it was very different. We could kind of gain some perspective of what are our next steps. And honestly, the next steps are just taking care of our people and our places around us. So what's most immediate? Our property is 2 hours away. There's nothing we're going to do to impact change there right now. But what we can do most effectively with our time and our efforts is go cut out sheetrock, or we cleaned out someone's house that we didn't know she had sewage back up in her house. I mean, how miserable
is that? What you were doing?
Well, I got there after the sewage, so I kind of got the nice end of the job. But yeah, it's kind of like, I love the idea of the homestead, and it is so in the forefront, but it's just beyond reach of this really big recovery effort, I think is the way to say it. Yeah, I think you're right, David. I think that pond is straight up mid-lake size by now.
Which I do. It is a bummer that, we haven't been able to
can't retain it.
Yeah, we haven't been able to do any of our water harvesting. It just hasn't
well,
happened.
If you've seen our videos, our pond has a leak in it. So they call it a tank here, but our little tank does not hold water. So unfortunately, all this water will seep into the ground.
But we've never. There's only in the almost 3 years that it's been 2 years that we've owned the property. It was only dry that one time. Now we haven't spent a lot of time out there in the middle of August or July, but it was whenever we bought it. It was whenever it was dry. Every time we've gone up there, there's been some water.
But you can see the crack in the thing, like in the dam. It's definitely not.
That's why we need to raise our pigs and ducks there.
Ducks
anyway,
and chicks.
Those are that's for other stuff. Okay, so this is so.
Yeah, weird. Eric, the property is way more inland. We are we're not a coastal city, but if you know where Houston is, it's East Texas. We're about, how far are we from the coast? 120 miles or something?
Yeah,
an hour and a half away.
Give us a thumbs up or say that you can hear us and see us and everything, because
couple people.
Yeah. Jetters said 15 said that he is having trouble, so maybe just try to refresh. Seems like everybody is going good. My feed is going in and out too. Bummer.
It might be our connection.
That's whack. Come on, suburbia. Yes, I know we don't have the best internet. Agree, Tammy. I avoided. Okay, so. And this is what happened whenever we did the power went out live stream.
And that was not for dramatic effect.
Done.
It just genuinely did not hold.
Okay, good. Glad that everybody's cool. Hey, also give us a thumbs up for the video. I never asked that, and I think it's really cool to ask.
You go right ahead. I don't even know what that means. So sure.
It's a little
thumbs up.
I don't know what that means. It's
emoji?
Okay, it's emoji? No. So, nah.
Those are her initials or his initials. I don't know.
I hope so. Okay.
This person's initials. Because look at the ambiguity of the internet.
I love it, but I want to see that
quality is meh. Oh, guys, I love this.
So, did Hurricane Harvey kill our homestead dream? The fast, quick answer is no. That in terms of us, we did not take on water. So it is still our plan to get our house ready in the next month and list it the first week of October. Whenever I said we're listing it October 1st, I didn't realize that was a Sunday. So our realtor might time it differently in that week, but to say like on October 1st, we are ready to put it on the market.
That's 1 month, y'all.
That's 1 month.
That's like 30, 31 days?
Yeah.
30.
So
30 days has September.
Yes. So it is up to it's on us that we are going to put our house on the market
in a
to
month.
Sell it in a month. The crazy thing is nobody knows what the real estate market is going to do. Guys, all of it wasn't the low end homes, like residential properties, that got ruined. It is all of like in our town, all of the nicer end stuff. It's really weird. So I just now went and worked on probably like, what did you say? I mean, it's like a $300,000-$400,000 house in our neighborhood. That good friends of ours that their house was just, it had a foot of water in the entire first floor. Now but it's still done. It's still like still needs a lot of work. So it's just a very strange thing.
And that's a house that the water has receded. Yeah,
there's no water there.
What you're seeing on the news is pretty accurate.
So we talked to our realtor, and what she said is, I can try to do some of the work myself, which we were planning on doing, but we were also thinking, hey, we still have 4 kids. We're going to want to hire some of this stuff out just to get it done. There is no more contractors or anything to do anything, especially even the carpet. I mean, I didn't even think, holy. Didn't think about
live revelation, people.
Shoot.
So the things that we need to do to get done on our house have not diminished. However, the demand for the people to do that has significantly gone up.
Yeah, we needed to replace our carpet. That's like the top thing that we have to do is get new carpet all throughout our house, and we already picked it out. We already have the person to do it.
We're replacing it around Monday.
They are going to be slammed. But
hopefully,
I
would hope though that we could get that order in on Monday, and most people are still waiting for the assessments to come through.
That's a good point. That we'll need to just get it done, and we'll probably call them tomorrow actually to say like,
Sunday?
Hey.
No, Saturday.
No, we should probably do that. So anyway.
His faces are great, aren't they, Tammy? They're hilarious. And now my kids have this like expressive brow.
Have y'all ever noticed that whenever you meet, so I just now hung out with this house today, and the mom and the daughter.
You hung out with a house?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I ripped drywall. I ripped sheetrock and baseboards and all this stuff out of this house today. That's what I did for like 4 hours. I didn't bring the camera because there's no. Yeah. But like the mom and the daughter is an adult, and they sound exactly alike.
Yes.
I talk to my kids. I'm like, why are y'all yelling at me? And
probably because you're yelling.
I think I'm a yeller.
Such a yeller.
And Everett has faces. So.
They all do. Everett's doing this weird thing now, and he's talking to us like this.
Well, because he's like got the tooth that he won't rip out.
He needs to lose a darn tooth.
Okay.
Side note.
So anyway.
The dream's not dead. The dream, honestly, we've never felt more confident or in control.
Yeah.
The thing is, we can only control what are the controllables.
Yeah.
We don't know what the market's going to do. It's so early. I mean, effectively, the storm did not pass from here until Monday. And then everybody's been wondering, what does this mean just for themselves? And now we've got this outward mindset, but we don't know what this means for the market.
So we need someone to buy our house for a price that the house is worth.
Yes.
In order for us to move. We have the price that we want to sell it for. And I think that we can get a good amount of that. The question is, is the timing now for October going to be when those people that were planning on moving ready to buy? Like, is that if they're trying to upgrade from an apartment, dude, we're sitting pretty.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, hey, we want to downsize from our big house down to a small house, like, we're in trouble. If it is someone out of town, we're doing really good. If it is just any kind of other transition, if it's people coming from, more in town Houston and wanting to come a little bit out of town, like a little bit further from Houston than where we are, then it's probably really bad, because those houses are destroyed now, and you can't get a loan. So what is going on is, in the real estate here, is if you got water in your house, your value is going to go down, because what they're going to do is they're going to have to rewrite all of the flood maps for this 10,000 year flood, whatever they're calling it now. And so if you're in a floodplain, a flood map, if you're in that flood map, you are forced to get flood insurance, which means that your property value is going to go down. If you did not take on water, then most likely our house is going to go up in value. But when is that going to happen? Because we're timing it so good or bad, we have no clue.
But you and I have totally different opinions on this. And I don't know if it's just because I'm more laid back than you are.
Because you won't sit up with me. You're just laid back.
This is not a comfortable space for us to be in.
That was a joke. That was just because you're like laying back and you won't
talk because you're talking over me. I think that we have such different views on this, because Houston is not this inaccessible backwoods area. This is not the devastation between Houston and this storm. Houston will bounce back really powerfully. I really think the rebuild of Houston is going to be not such a dramatic thing. The response is heartwarming, and the devastation is massive, and it is very real. I think what you're seeing on the news is very accurate. There are places absolutely underwater. A friend of mine took a picture of one of our underpasses, 57 feet of water. That's not even in downtown Houston yet. That's just where we have this very large under overpass kind of thing, for lack of a better description. And Houston commerce is huge here. Like, this whole oil or gas crisis, this is not real. Don't worry about that. We're not in this massive crisis of finances in our area. So I am not worried about our house selling. I don't think it's even going to sell for less than what we were estimating just a few months ago. I don't know that it means we're going to have a bidding war. I just think that it means we still stay diligent and didn't kill our dream. We just don't know what it means. We have to make money on this house in order to buy our shed.
So I texted our realtor yesterday, and she was like, I don't know. And she's like the number one RE/MAX realtor in all of Houston.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's talk next week. So we're going to talk next week. But options, and we haven't even talked about this, is we do exactly the beginning of October, and just the same that we were planning on it. The other option is we bump it up a couple of weeks, because we're not ready for that. But at the same time, maybe those buyers are like, we need a house now.
Well, then this might not be the house for them.
If you want it, if we got 2 weeks early and we could get an extra 10,000 out of it,
I don't need to make an extra 10,000. I just need to sell my house for a fair price, and then $10,000 does nothing but stress me out. Right. So I have if this house doesn't sell,
I don't think that's going to happen.
This is not a house for them.
The other option,
this is happening right in front of you?
Yes, it's very funny. The other option, which is a big definite that would be sitting pretty, is if we wanted to rent our house out. I know it's not going to happen, but not to say people need short-term rentals now.
I know God's really going to have to lead us to that if that's what He wants us to do. Because I want to
just give our house. I want to be like, I mean, safe to say, like, sure, you need a place to
you'd
stay.
like to financially
like,
afford
yes,
that.
but
Sure.
we, of course, we could not do that. And
I think there will be the perfect buyer. We are the perfect seller for them. The price will be excellent, and everybody feels like a win. I would rather be a homesteader and not a landlord.
I agree, because if that opens up so much
Jeff,
risk.
this one does kind of rock. It's pretty awesome.
Yes,
it's the fanciest thing we own.
It's my editing chair, and I did not.
It's really fancy. One day we'll just have to.
I did not go to UT, so it's not. Everybody in the church that I worked at, they all because they were all A&M people.
They were.
And so, anyway,
lots of whooping in our
area.
area.
So renting is a pain. Okay, so anyway, that lets you know
we're still on target. We just have no again. We control the controllables and we do those diligently, but the rest of it we have no idea. I agree with you, Amy. I think there are people still looking in our area. There are jobs in our area. There is commerce. There are new startups that are even going to come out of this. New businesses, I'm certain. So it'll be interesting to see what the Lord does in our area as a result of this. I think personally, and some of you will be fans of this and some of you won't, but I think that there is a very big spiritual movement happening amidst all of this. And if you know anything about prophetic words over our city, I think this is God just ordering some really amazing things in the midst of things that on the surface seem really just tragic and one level. There's much more happening.
Oh, the rodeo. Good call.
What's it?
When does the rodeo start? I should know this.
Oh, it's not until...
It's fall.
Yeah, it's
October.
Not until... Yeah, but I don't even... No, rodeo's not until spring. It's like spring break time.
Really?
Yeah, this will be like fall harvest festivals. Like we've got a bunch... Every Texas town has some sort of homecoming thing. The rodeo is in like March. So this won't do anything.
The worst margaritas of all time.
Basically slushies.
Yeah. Okay. So that is that. We are still on target. The next thing on my list, because I'm looking up here, is that this is going to be the final Harvey specific video, and it's a live stream. Mm-hmm. So the videos that I'm going to be uploading here in the next week or so are going to be like, you have no, like, why aren't they even addressing this gigantic storm that came through their city? Because I filmed it 2 weeks ago.
Harvey interrupted everything. So we have a lot of content that we hadn't yet posted.
Yes.
You're going to catch up on that in a few days.
She's so eloquent and fast.
See, when we're talking about things I can speak about.
The next thing is just to let you know that we finally, Kelly stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning last night, taking my crazy ADD dyslexic mind that I put in a book about how to just get off your tail and build your homestead. And she helped me edited it. So we proofreaded it. So proofreaded. See,
we pre-fruited it.
So we've finished with our final draft of our book. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's in our editor's hands right now, and it's very exciting. It's an ebook, so don't think we're that exciting, because it's not going to be on paper. But it is really cool, and it's a lot of hard work. I mean,
I think that it will probably add some stuff in there, and I might
there's a workbook to it.
Oh, this thing's a big deal.
Eric, you ain't never been to a rodeo if you ain't getting margaritas there. You can eat anything at a rodeo, dude.
Honestly, our favorite margaritas are a drive-through margarita.
I have so many business ideas now that I've been an adult. An ice cream truck that actually sells margaritas instead, that would be killer. That would make so much money.
Like margarita in the ice cream?
No, just a truck that drives around to suburban households. We would make so much money. So much money.
What's the sound that they play on their truck? Dun, 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 dun.
We could play that one. I don't know. I didn't get that far in the details. Leave your suggestions on songs.
Visionary. can do it. That would be sweet.
So I think that would be an amazing business. I'd also like to have like a 50-cent movie theater. I think that would be amazing. I loved those in college.
You can't go back. No.
Really want one.
It's called your home theater system.
I really want a 50-cent movie theater.
Yeah, no, you're not going backwards.
Yes,
what
Tim
else?
Turner, I'll drive my margarita truck to you. That sounds like a plan. You know, here's what happens though. I come up with an idea like this.
Hey, Jaton's here.
Yay, Jaton! And once I come up with an idea like this, then somebody takes it from the internet. So this is free reign for you to have. Now you can open your .com. Houndstooth and herringbone. I'll never do that again.
That is an inside joke that we're not unpacking.
Nope.
It's a terrible URL.
One day I will, and you'll want to watch that video.
So our ebook is going to the editor, and hopefully she does not tell us that it's terrible.
Have a great night, Mandy. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Just come back next time. We'll chat it up again.
Okay, about the ebook. Just not gonna. I am going to apologize fast. I'm sorry. We have a 3-month-old and trying to get our house ready. I fell off of Patreon for 2 months straight, and I lost a lot of people. So I'm very sorry that I have not done anything on YouTube or Patreon in like 2 months. So what I'm going to do is
we appreciate you.
Well,
we're
so much.
Thankful for you.
So what I'm going to be doing is taking the draft, and I'm going to, and the workbook also.
Thanks for making my hair.
She wanted to wear like
washed in 2 weeks.
And I'm going to upload it to all of our $3 or more Patreons. And then for even those of y'all that if you had to cancel because you weren't getting the value, then I'm still going to try to track you down and give it to you.
Because we appreciate you.
Totally. So sorry that I haven't done a lot. Hopefully the Finley season will come to an end at some point. We love this little girl.
We don't want Finley to come to an end.
No.
We just want to be more structured in our vlogging.
Yes. Anything happening over here in this one?
Yeah. Great.
Good stuff.
Oh, a movie theater that sells margaritas. Terry, you're going to make me wake up my children. That's a genius move. You run with that. That's brilliant.
Can you do that? Well,
sure.
Yeah.
Alamo Draft House.
Yeah.
Studio Movie Grill.
Yeah. They're good. Have we ever had margaritas there? Or do they not do liquor?
Yes, they do liquor. You do not get out enough. Absolutely they do.
Okay. We love Jesus, like, the thing, but
He turned water into wine.
I know. Hey,
I think it's
that's how it is. And margaritas. So
he turned anything into margarita.
Going back to Harvey, where to donate? A lot of y'all have said like, "Hey, we want to be able to give, but we don't want to give to the Red Cross. Is there a place that we can give directly to people?" And she's going to.
But we do need to say, Red Cross is awesome. Red Cross is great.
They're here.
They're phenomenal, and they're absolutely very quick. What I notice a lot of people will ask us is, where can we give to make the most immediate impact? And I think that when you can get money into people's hands that are directly connected to a need versus through a corporation, that is a really powerful way to do it. So find something local. Churches are excellent places to donate because they're usually really in tune with the needs of a community. They know where the houses are already flooded. They know the people and how to get a hold of them. So look at a local place first. I think that's brilliant. Give your man hours if you can do that. If you're in Texas, there will be people like us who open their houses and say, come stay with us while you serve our community. We're so grateful. There's nothing but gratitude in Houston and the surrounding areas for everything. And I think that our desire is certainly going to be, as soon as our community's needs are met, we're going to move on to the next one as a community. So know that this will be very snowball effect in our state. But give online. There are, if you want to know specifically how to give to our area, you can. JJ Watt is a great place. I don't usually give like, hey, let me endorse this celebrity. But JJ Watt is an easy one to get a hold of. He is effectively standing in the gap between the Houston people and the finances of the globe who love him. He's using his celebrity really well. So his money is not going to then go to the like a large corporation. His money is just going straight to small areas he can support.
That's super
They're
cool.
actually driving out as a team to give Facebook. Facebook keeps me connected.
Man,
So they're going out as a team to give. That's an easy place to give. I know a lot of celebrities are giving in different ways. So we don't dog the Red Cross. We just see how effective it is to give to small community boots on the ground. There's not a better term for that, but people who are intentionally right there.
Shaitan. Whoa.
She left her horse when it started filling with water and came back to it on house. I was like, because I see a horse in the next thing. I was like, what?
It's not funny, but there's a horse.
Yes, there. Yeah. So one of the risks is a lot of people were leaving because their houses were filling with water quickly, or finally they acquiesced and said, okay, there's a military truck in front of my house. Maybe I should get on it. But the electricity was still on. So many houses are catching on fire because of live wires, or I don't know, the circuits are open, so they're just catching on fire. I don't think that's a thing that's happening all the time, but there definitely have been houses in our area that have caught on fire. So I'm sure they're happening other places too.
Eric talks about
Salvation
Eric
Army.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's
Absolutely. Great. That was my mom and dad wanted to give money. They don't live in this area. And that was an easy way for them to give money financially online. You know, the beauty of e-commerce is that most things can be given just through the internet. So if you want to give stuff, only do that if you're coming. Don't ship something. We probably don't need more clothes. Like clothes and food, especially where we are. Where we are in the Houston area, we can drive or ride a boat taxi about, I don't know, a few miles out, and we can get those supplies in. Port Arthur and Rockport and Victoria, places that are Bay City completely was underwater, where you can get supplies in if you're coming in with them. We definitely want you to do that. A friend of ours evacuated out to the Austin area, and when she came back, she came with some supplies for her specific community. So things like that are certainly happening. But for people who've lost their homes entirely and they're in these areas of need, that's where you want to bring stuff and bring your manpower.
Eric, you want the Jesus and wine thing to go on to a t-shirt?
I think Ellen DeGeneres did that already.
Yes, yes.
I love Jesus, but I drink a little.
I forgot what her name was.
Oh, gosh. She was in Austin.
Gladys? Isn't that
Gladys. I think it was Gladys.
This is totally an old lady name, Gladys.
Whatever.
She loves
all old ladies started as little babies.
What is old lady? What are the old lady names that you want to
Hazel. I love Hazel.
Hazel.
Ethel. Love Ethel. Love Ethel.
Right.
I love it.
Ethel.
Oh my gosh, if you guys have watched Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, there's an episode about a guy who names his baby Linda, and you just need that in your life. It's hilarious.
What season?
I hate Mondays. It's the new season.
The new season. Okay.
Okay. We are really getting off topic.
Yes, we are.
We haven't talked to adults very much lately, so thanks for being here.
Not a bad idea to have a battery-powered chainsaw. I have one.
Amy. We do have a battery-powered chainsaw.
Yes, I do. I can't find one of my batteries.
Let's not dig into the subject of his paranoia about where the battery is.
I know.
Good night, Amy. Yes,
good night, Amy. Yes.
Thanks for being here.
We were only going to do this for like 20 minutes, and it's just too much.
That never happens.
We just like hanging out with you.
Never happens.
Okay, that was where to donate.
Yeah, so any other questions? I think we've gotten to all your questions so far. But we want to honor your time because you guys are awesome, and we want to leave you wanting more and not, oh my gosh, those Brothertons never shut up.
Yeah. So, last questions. Put it down below if you want us to talk about it. Margaritas.
All you wonderful people with bougie movie theaters.
First stop, Nemo, Texas.
For my truck.
Oh.
Margarita truck.
Did not know there was a Nemo, Texas. That's cool.
We'll have to find you. But I thought that was
really clever.
Good. Thank you.
I know.
I knew there was something there. I just kind of
like
had to dig for it.
I like it.
Okay, I think we've done everything. Yeah, a lot of people needing who will have large insurance checks. Yes, that may be the case.
Well, they would have to have flood insurance.
Yeah.
If you don't have flood insurance, oh my goodness, Billy told me, man, my insurance agent told me about a guy who let his flood insurance lapse, and it was 6 feet of water in the Houston area. He's lost everything.
I can't even imagine.
He even said, he's like, Bo, if you're talking about getting rid of your furniture, he might really need it.
Gosh, I can't wait.
We filmed their wedding. I don't want to say it.
Oh, I do know that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I do know about that. Yeah, don't say that.
Yeah.
They don't know we're talking about them.
Yes.
But yeah, of course we would love to do that to them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's for a while I felt like the news was really telling stories that were accurate but incomplete. What we've been seeing is nothing but outpouring of absolute generosity. I have a friend who didn't eat her first meal today until like 6:30 because she was dispatching boats all up and down our city. She's a volunteer. She's never done this before. She's stage manager history, but someone posted this on her page and said, "You are stage managing the crap out of this storm," and she absolutely was.
Wait, who?
Zay.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we have friends who orchestrated in conjunction with another family, 1,400 meals that were served just 2 days ago. We have obviously, if you know anything about Texas culture, you know H-E-B, and this is a major grocery chain, and they were sending 18-wheelers with, I think they may have bathrooms in them, but they had washing machines and food and all sorts of resources for people who were going to need them. Academy in our city opened its doors so the National Guard could sleep there. They're sleeping in a high school. People are creating entire staging area food stations that are completely run by civilians who just want to say thank you in some way or another to the people who are giving everything. I mean, 16-hour days, double 24-hour shifts at hospitals. These are incredible people who just want to use the skill that they have and the ways that they're gifted to serve in whatever way that looks. And I could not be more grateful to see that happen, or more thankful to have very small roles of like watching friends' kids while they go help in the community, or we're going to be baking bread tomorrow. I know that that's so silly and seems so small, but we know that our neighbors down the street could use a loaf of bread, and that's not easy to come by in the stores.
Not sourdough.
No, we're not going to make sourdough. We all know what happens with that.
Just
okay,
bread.
Thank you, Gina, just for thinking of us. That it really was a lifesaver for us in those days where we had power, we had internet, we had lots of ways to connect with people, and that was saving grace to be able to hear from other people who are not in the middle of what we were going through. Quite frankly, the middle of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, Jeffrey, we would love to come to Wisconsin. I have a best friend who lives in Madison, and quite frankly, I cannot wait to get up there because your weather looks amazing. Let's see if there's anything else we missed. Someone here in North Carolina bought out all the bread. Oh, that's so thoughtful. What a great story, Garden Channel. Bought all the bread to send it to Texas. Grocery stores on wheels, laundromats. Absolutely. I think that's a ministry in and of itself to be able to provide just clean clothes for someone. That's another really cool thing. You know, we could write a whole ebook about how to help your community when it's hurting. And when we cleaned out this house the other day, people walked away with bags of laundry to return in the next hour. One way that a group of moms in one of the flooded areas, their whole neighborhood is flooded in. No one can get in or out. It's in a mandatory evacuation. Meaning if you leave, you can't come back in. So most people are staying in And a few of the houses are dry. So they are walking the streets of the neighborhood, collecting laundry to lighten the burden on those whose houses have water in them. It's really cool. And then they're returning them in like 3 hours. So this just like grassroots loving your neighbor is pretty powerful. Okay, yeah. You guys are awesome. Thanks for sharing your evening with us. We've got laundry and dishes and baking to do tonight. So we're going to go do that. And we had fun with you. Thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you all so much. Hey, so the next video that I think we're going to be posting, unless something big happens that we need to do more stuff about Harvey, is going to be our priority list for building our homestead. Yeah. So that's something that we filmed, Kelly and I. If you like Kelly and I just sitting here talking to each other and being goofy in front of you, this is what it is. So anyway, I don't know when that's going to be. It'll be hopefully maybe Monday. But that should be Monday, the next video. So our priority list for our homestead. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for praying for us. Thanks for just sharing your kind words here. Thank you. Please don't forget about Houston, our coastal cities. Don't forget about East Texas. This is big. It's long, and we're going to lose a lot of media coverage in the times to come. So so expect to hear from us about frequently ways that you can help or pray or be a part of the effort to recover. Thanks, guys.
All right, y'all have a good night.